I need all the wins, yeah. Ain't no L's, I gotta get a no call and quits, yeah. Gotta keep on moving no matter how hard it gets, yeah. Better move out the way cause I'm coming with harder hits. My head is as hard as a brick, but I'm harder than all of this. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. You better move, you might get knocked out, knocked out. My heart on my sleeve, stress, shield my greed. That's how I get it. Success ain't no giving. Some days I don't hit, I don't slay. When I'm focused, I'm dangerous.
What's up, Fever Nation? YouTube. What y'all think about that performance yesterday? I have to admit, it seemed kind of surreal. Unlike most of you, I had to come home and watch the recording. I was working some games yesterday. Remember, I'm a youth basketball referee, high school, middle school basketball referee. And I was avoiding all situations that would have foreshadowed the outcome of the game while I was out and about before I was able to watch the game, you know, going out, picking up food, doing, you know, little errands here and there. So when I finally watched it, I kind of watched it like you were all able to when it was shown live. And I have to admit, I was surprised. I didn't think she would come back like that at all. I didn't think she would be ever close to that. I thought, as she predicted, as she alluded to, that there may have been a little rust. Well, I don't even know. I'm speechless in terms of, I had to sit up there and wonder, I'm like, is this real? I mean, is this actually real? I mean, the shots she was hitting were phenomenal. I mean, she was back like she never left. Okay? I was in awe. I was like, wow. I say, man, they might need to give her more rest. What y'all think about Coach White? Huh? All you Coach White haters out there. You know, when they lose, y'all got all this advice for Coach White. Now, what kind of advice do you have now? You know, the Fever didn't play their best game. I get that. They left a lot of points on the table, and I'm going to show you that in these next few clips. But what y'all think? Fever Nation, all you YouTubers out there with so much advice for Coach White, you all actually have the unmitigated gall and audacity to bring up Christy Sides. Y'all talk about Coach White so much, you all bring up Christy Sides as if she had a clue. You know that Caitlin didn't like the woman because y'all remember the famous timeout where she drew up that play? Yeah, I don't even need to say anymore. So in this Christy Sides foolishness, nonsense, and carrying on. All right? For those of you who are familiar with me and my simple and basic metric, I always look at the end of a contest, whether win or lose, missed layups, missed free throws, and turnovers. Those are the three metrics I look at to determine whether a team could have won by more, could have won if they finished on the short end, and what could they have done to overcome that. Now, let's look at the free throws. Here, you see the Fever were 11 of 16 from the free throw line. That's 5 points they left on the board. Now, keep in mind, they scored triple digits. I don't want to say they struggled to get there, but they left a lot in terms of points. They left a lot to be desired on the board. Let's take another look at another statistic. Now, here we're looking at turnovers. The Fever had 13 turnovers. I like to avoid staying out of the teens in terms of a turnover ratio or number. When you're in the teens in your turnovers, that's not a good sign. That's not a good sign. I know, you know, people want to, I was listening to a lot of people yesterday on YouTube. They were talking about how many turnovers Caitlin had. Well, when you handle the ball a lot, that's going to happen. It's just like a quarterback with interceptions. If you throw the ball enough, things are going to happen. Okay. What you want to avoid is the turnover in key moments or pivotal moments of the game. Now, back to the turnovers. If you look at the 10, that's under the Liberty side of the stats. 10 steals. The Liberty had 10 steals. So 13 of those turnovers were 10 steals, nonetheless. Okay? So these are things that teams, players are in control of. I always look at what can the players control. You can't control the refs. You can't control certain factors in a game. But these three metrics that I'm pointing out to you now, and there may be others, so if you all discover others, I welcome to hear them. And these three metrics are within the players and the team's control. Stop talking about Coach White. Please. The players at the end of the day are responsible for executing the game plan, the scheme. Now, here's another thing I want to bring out. Back to that dream game that they lost. Everyone was just excoriating Coach White for that disappointing loss. And yes, it was a disappointing loss, but there were 2 or 3 anomalies in that game. The first anomaly was Brittany Griner wasn't in foul trouble. Yeah, imagine that. Brittany Griner was never in foul trouble in that game, so she played the entire contest. If you think about the first 2 games they played, Brittany Griner lived in foul trouble. So she was never a factor down the stretch. So whether you like her or not, or think about the way you do, think about her the way you do or not, she is a presence in that paint down there. There are not many 6'9" players in the WNBA, and I don't think there were ever many 6'9" players in the WNBA. Nonetheless, she played that game. And guess who was in foul trouble that game? Lexi Hull. Lexi Hull was in foul trouble. That was another anomaly. Now, it's not uncommon given the way that the refs were calling the game. And here's the third anomaly. The Fever defense held Ryan Howard to 3 points for that entire game. Nobody talked about that. Or you can say, well, she may never have that performance again. True enough. But the Fever showed when the schemes are run correctly, because I thought they forced Ryan Howard to take a lot of rush shots. Now, they did give up a lot of open shots, which I am never comfortable with, ever comfortable with in this league, because obviously these women can knock down open shots. So that's a premium in this league. They're hitting their open shots. The point is, why are you giving great players, great shooters, wide open looks? That's like giving Caitlin Clark a clean look at the rim. You know she don't need much room, kind of like Steph. And finally, our last metric, missed layups. How many missed layups did you all count yesterday? I had 8. If you want to say 7, I can go with that. Let's entertain that. 8 missed or 7 missed layups and 5 missed free throws. That's approximately 19 to 21 points that the Fever left on the board. Yes, 19 points. Now think about it. They scored in triple figures. So they could have scored a lot more if they buttoned up these 3 metrics. If they tighten up these 3 metrics, they will win games they are supposed to lose. We'll make sense of that later. That's all I have for you right now. Subscribe, like, comment, share, and let me know what you think. Is this a reach? Should I back off the YouTubers that are getting on Coach White? Or y'all want me to stay on him? You all have a blessed day. I'm out.
Clark, another long 3. She's back.